Well, as you can see, we're still not running combine. We got another 6 tenths last night on top of like 1.25 inches that we've accumulated over the week, so we're tick over 2 inches. So rather than hopping right into the combine, I figured I'd give the ground at least a day to soak some of that in, because as of this morning when I walked out of the house, you could walk around the yard and hear the water pushing up out of the ground when you walked. So I just been dinking around. I finished working on the sears this morning, took that back home, and I'm going to work on this project. This is obviously, I farm that field, and as you can see, the yard here is kind of overgrown. I talked to the landlord a few weeks ago and told him, because the neighbors there used to take care of this, but then the old guy fell sick and they haven't been able to keep up on it. And the guy that owns the place hasn't found anybody to keep the yard mowed yet, so I offered to bring the brush hog over here and told him I'd brush hog it, at least make it look presentable somewhat. But before I do that, so that I don't wipe myself off the tractor, I'm going to limb some of these trees just to make it easier to mow. So I'm gonna do that. I got the grapple on here because it makes moving brush so much nicer. I'm just gonna drop them on the ground and we'll throw them in the grapple and haul them out back to where I had that burn pile this winter. And then get to 77 in the brush hog and come back over here. So I guess no sense in wasting too much time talking, so we'll just get after it. And I forgot to mention, part of this deal is I'm gonna do this and he's gonna knock money off the rent for the field. So I win, he wins. Because for what he said he'd knock off the rent, I'm not gonna have that kind of, like for time and fuel, I'm not gonna have that money invested in getting this taken care of. So technically I win and he probably comes out even. hauled back to the brush pile, so now I guess we're gonna try to do some mowing. Hopefully it doesn't take too terribly long, but there's a lot of shit to go around, so this is where it'd be nice to have the Super 55 fixed, because that thing would be perfect for this. But when the PTO don't work, it's kind of hard to run anything that runs PTO. Row crop farm tractor, not a substitute for a zero-turn lawnmower. Although it was not nearly as bad as I thought it'd be. I figured I was gonna be doing a lot more fighting than I did. It actually went pretty smooth, even with all the shit I have to mow or had to mow around. And I mowed all this. I mowed the barn lot. I mowed the path back to where I was stacking the brush. I mowed the pasture back there where I was stacking the brush. At least I assume it used to be a pasture. So I mean, I bet I mowed better part of 2.5 acres, and it only took me an hour and a half even with driving around everything. So not too bad of a little job that saves me a little bit of money on paying for that field over there. So anyway, I'm gonna go home and get the mower cleaned up and put away, and get the tractor cleaned up and put away, and probably call it a day, because it's almost, it is 5:30 now. So anyway, sorry it was kind of a boring video. I didn't have anything better to video today, but should be back to shelling corn tomorrow. I am glad I decided to hold off for a day, because, well, just a little bit of driving around in that field back there that I did, it's ground pretty soggy around here. I'm not even overly excited about going tomorrow, but we got to start making some progress on something. So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.